Hello YouTube Vintage Stereo Restorers. I had to do another take here because my neighbor decided to fire up his Harley and let it idle, which was a little loud. I found this at a garage sale this morning. I know it's not a stereo component. It's actually a radio cassette, stereo radio cassette. And it was part of a downsizing sale. So the middle-aged kids were downsizing mom and dad's place, and apparently this was given as a gift and never used, put away in a closet and stored. It was given to their dad, and so you can see here, this actually was sold by Consumers Distributing. If anybody remembers that store, maybe it never was used. I like finding stuff like this. The styrofoam may be kind of stuck in there. Let's try getting it out. Find sometimes styrofoam can be stuck. I actually had a very similar one of these, and I believe I bought it in 1981, something like that. I wanted something I could take out with my friends and stuff. You know, we'd go and play tennis at a court in the neighborhood, and we'd have some music going, or we'd go out boating, things like that, even skidooing. I don't know, it's looking kind of interesting. Yeah, this is, oh, look at the cosmetics. This thing is new. Let's hope the styrofoam hasn't glued itself on, because that can happen too. It's coming. Sometimes the older stuff can glue itself on. Oh, we're lucky. Wow. I'm not sure what year this is. This is actually, the one I had was realistic. It's the same layout. A lot of this stuff was made, you know. That is brand new. That's never run a tape. There's not a mark on the mechanism. Hardly any fingerprints even on it. Now, I have a feeling the cassette part isn't going to turn. Is there a cord in here? Would we be lucky? Huh, I don't see a cord. And I'm sure this ran with a cord. Look at the size of the battery compartment. What is this? Tape take along. Hey, there's a cord in here. Oh ho ho. Look at the battery compartment. Wow. That battery compartment is in incredible condition. That's funny. Let's just put it back in there. So we can use it. It's fighting me. There we go. So it's tape keg long, and this is a jack for 9 volts DC. So you could use that in your car. I remember I used to just get the big D-cell batteries and run it that way. That seemed to work. The realistic one, I took it all over the place. I had a suitcase full of tapes. Look at the antenna. That is just, has brand new written all over it. Nobody wanted this at the garage sale either. Anyway, I don't know what the control's going to be like. Let's just set that there. Turn it to radio. FM stereo. I saw a light come on. I did see a light, and I heard a pop. There's AM.
This is Audio Network. This is ICAS Audio Network.
Ugh. All these stations are owned by the same people. Let's try it. This switch is a little sticky. Yeah.
Par région, ils n'arrivent pas
I used to like taking this around to places that had good FM. It went pretty loud. Well, 4-speaker system, yeah, there are actually separate speakers. This one's exactly like the realistic one I had. Now, what I'm curious about, will the tape mechanism actually turn? I kind of doubt. I think the belt's just going to go fa-ding. But let's try it fast forward. Nope. Oh! Take up reel is turning in the capstan. No, something just dropped in there. That would be the belt. These heads and the take-up reel are perfect. Absolutely perfect. Should be quite fixable. You know, like I used to actually use it. I used to tape stuff off the radio with it, and I actually at the time had like a full stereo, some Yamaha components. Anyway, I mean, I've been actually lately, I've got several cassette decks again, and even some brand new Bass Chrome 2s to record on, because cassettes seem to be making a little bit of a comeback, and quite a few of the vintage players, like the last Techniques deck I did, are actually really good and actually pretty easy to fix. I decided to take apart this AM/FM radio cassette. There's about 9 screws you have to take out across the back, and then the front comes off. Then you can lift the deck with another 4 screws. Here's what I found. This belt here, really loose between the motor and here, and the other one was just on top of this battery holder here, a pile of goo. That's what happens to them. It's funny how one is okay, it actually is not even rubbing off. But I'll just show you this mechanism. Turn it around here. There's been like, there it is. We'll focus. Heads are in great shape, and it's a stereo head, and capstan's in great shape. Pretty simple mechanism. One simple board for everything else. So it looks like there's only 2 belts, so I'm going to figure out what fits on here, clean the rest of the goo up, and then give it a listen. Okay, I've got some belts back on this, and I put it in a tape that's kind of old, and it is turning. Paul Moriat, Love is Blue. I'm not going to play it too long because of the copyrights, but it is playing. This tape is like from a Reader's Digest collection from the 70s. But you know what? This song, Love is Blue, is the first song I ever heard played on a real stereo, like on a component stereo. Because back in the 60s, usually the people that had them were like my dad, you know, and they played the music they liked, the jazz, the band music, that kind of stuff. Let's see if this rewinds. So I'll try to do it. I don't want to dump the thing over, but okay. Oh, and the auto stop works. It's great. Yeah, so I matched the belts as best I could. There's two, and there's a lot of goo inside this from the belts melting. They break down, as you know, from being 40 years old. So before I put this together, I'm going to give all the controls a shot, although they are very quiet. I'm going to give them a shot, and very importantly on these older ones is the record play switch, which is mechanical. When you press play, it's in one direction, and when you press record, it's in the other. And it's a dip switch type of thing. So I'm going to put a little stuff in that, put it together. So I've got it all back together here. Just for fun, I put this tape in a few minutes ago. And I actually just recorded off the radio. That's what you're hearing right there. It actually works really well. And this tape here, that's one I used to play in my car in the 80s. It still had some 38 special or something on it. So anyway, yeah, everything's working. It's got the new belts in it. So it's a brand new unit working like it did when it was new. And it's kind of neat. I remember some of the good times with like I say, a very similar one that I had to this, a realistic, taking it different places and, like camping on a long weekend and a whole bunch of tapes out of the car. Sometimes you played your stereo, in the car and had the trunk open, the doors open. But this is a good one just to take places or out on the patio. This is what we called portable music back in the day. Anyway, thanks for watching and listening.